gosh, I just love everything about these kind of video. They're so well done. Welcome back to another Deep Dive with Derek. I'm your host, Derek, but my friends call me D-Rock, here with another reaction. Now, if you want to jump right in, get to the good stuff, I got the timestamps in the description below. But if you're new here, I'd like to personally welcome you to the channel. And this channel, among other things, I take a look at music and other videos, poetry and the like, through the lens of meaningful living, meaning and valued living, philosophy, mindfulness, resilience, things like that. Basically, the tools that we can use to design and live a meaningful life. That includes both the upside of life and learning from and getting through the downside of life. So if this is something that you like, consider subscribing for more like this. I don't run any ads on these videos on this channel. I think the advertisement and attention model is largely responsible for a lot of, say, negative consequences of society. I prefer direct relationship with my audience. So if you want to support this channel, you don't have to, but if you do, you might find a thanks button down here. Think of that like a tip jar. You can leave a tip there if you want to support me. Sometimes it's not there. I haven't figured out why it sometimes is and isn't. If it's not and you still want to support the channel, you can buy me a beer. You can support me with micro donations. All of those links will be in the description. So this song I'm checking out, well, it's Jelly Roll, but Jelly Roll is featured on this. It's Joyner Lucas. I don't know who that is. Featuring Jelly Roll, Best for Me. And this was recommended, highly recommended. So I'm going to check it out. It's called Best for Me. And then in parentheses, Not Now, I'm Busy. If the song was just called Best for Me, I wouldn't have any expectations. But that Not Now, I'm Busy gives me inklings that it might be an existential or a mortality song, like kind of like Cats in the Cradle. And I can't play with you now, or I can't give you my time now because I'm busy, but I might run out of time. That's what I'm going in with my expectations. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Probably will be wrong, but let's check it out. Joyner Lucas with Jelly Roll, Best for Me. Let's go.
How can you love someone and learn to let them go? How can we fall apart on things we'll never know?
Yeah, already. This guy's so good. So how can we love somebody enough to let them go? That sounds so easy. But that's the role of attachment in the world. If I love something, I don't want to let it go. That's some people would call that selfishness. I don't know if I would go that far. But it's basically saying, I love this person or whatever. I love this, say, person. The best thing for that person would be to let them go. But I don't want to do that because I want to have this person around. So this is kind of like an empathy statement, which is to say, well, more compassion, I suppose. What is the best for this person? Can I love you enough to do the best for you, even if that means losing for me? So there's like a sacrificial component to that too.
We fall apart on things we'll never know. Isn't it funny you can change your ways for someone to fill in your empty space? Tell me, is it really love if you have to ask if they'll?
This looks like an overdose, which means it's going to be a tearjerker. A lot of Jelly songs that I've seen so far are literal tearjerkers.
Tell me, is it really love if you have to ask if they'll stay?
Yeah. Is it really love if you have to ask if they'll stay? Yeah, there's so many layers to these early lines. And it sounded like it was going to come in as a rap. I heard like some snare hits. So is Joyner Lucas a rapper? I guess I'll find out. In my head, Joyner Lucas was a country artist.
If you have to ask if they'll stay.
Yeah, I got somebody I love. Someone who's really important to me, but now they addicted to drugs. Someone who not who they used to be, and we ain't been keeping in touch. I ain't gonna say any names at all, cause I don't want no one to judge. But I wrote the song, I hope when they hear it, they'll never forget who they was. I hope you feeling your spirit enough. I wanna just tell you I love you in case that you really don't hear it as much. I know we ain't talked in a while, but fuck it, I really don't care what it was. I wanna reach out, but you keep on shutting me down. You ain't been caring as much. What the
I want to hear the song more than once. Man, these videos are so well done too. So is he already dead or is he just passed out? I love somebody a lot, but they took the wrong path somewhere along the lines. Now they're addicted to drugs. I can't get through to them.
But I wrote the song, I hope when they hear it, they'll never forget who they was. Cause I got.
If you have to ask if they'll stay.
Gotta hear this again.
Yeah, I got somebody I love. Someone who's really important to me, but now they addicted to drugs. Someone who not who they used to be, and we ain't been keeping in touch. I ain't gonna say any names at all, cause I don't want no one to judge. But I wrote the song, I hope when they hear it, they'll
want to say who it is because I don't want there to be judgment. I don't want this person to be judged. If you walked a mile in their shoes, if you felt the empathy for them, you'd end up in the same place as they were. Wrong place, wrong time, often. So I don't want there to be any judgments.
never forget who they was. I hope you feeling your spirit enough. I wanna just tell you I love you in case that you really don't hear it as much. I know we ain't talked in a while, but fuck it, I really don't care what it was. I wanna reach out, but you keep on shutting me down. You ain't been caring as much. What the fuck happened to you? You losing a fight. I never thought I'd see the day that you let addiction ruin your life. Everyone calling that shit a disease and making you feel like you in the right. But I hate the fact that you really be using that as an excuse to do what you like or do what you might.
It's interesting. So he's saying, and I've gone back and forth with this too. I just really don't like the word disease because it's not a virus. It's not a bacteria. It's not any kind of thing like that. It's not cancer. It's a choice. This is my views only, opinion only. So you can't call it a disease when I chose to do it. On the other hand, once you're in it, once I've already made that choice and once I'm in it now, I've become addicted to dopamine, one of the brain chemicals, the feel-good chemicals. That dopamine addiction is very much like a disease, sort of. I mean, again, it's not an intruder. It's not a virus or a bacteria, but it hijacks your thinking brain the same way that a disease would. So I've waffled back and forth on this, because on one hand, it's self-chosen. I put the pill in my mouth. I turned up the bottle upside down. I picked up the cigarette. So it was my choices. And then eventually that leads to the addiction, which I can see why they call it a disease. So here, what he's saying is people call it a disease, which lets you off the hook. I, though, feel like you're doing this as an excuse. You're using it as an excuse. You're using we'll call it disease as an excuse. It's not my fault, kind of absolving himself of responsibility. And so there's a school of thought that says, regardless of what happens, you are responsible for your own life. That's tough because with responsibility comes responsibility for the outcomes too. So if I make choices, I'm responsible for the outcomes. The existentialists used to say we're condemned to be free because we don't actually want to be free. Because if I'm free to make any choice that I want, then I have to be responsible for the consequences of everything that I did. So people try not to take responsibility. I mean, this is really the catch-22 of freedom. So whatever happened, regardless of whose fault it is, I'm always responsible for my own life. So that's a heavy school of thought, like a strong school of thought. A lot of philosophies of life talk about that. Stoicism, Epicureanism, existentialism, they all talk about that. Buddhism even. So back to what does that have to do with anything? It says that I didn't want to take responsibility for this, so I'm going to use this as an excuse to absolve myself of some of this responsibility.
Caring as much. What the fuck happened to you? You losing a fight. I never thought I'd see the day that you let addiction ruin your life. Everyone calling that shit a disease and making you feel like you in the right. But I hate the fact that you really be using that as an excuse to do what you like or do what you might. And I keep on
Do what you like. So like hedonism, I don't want to even focus on any big picture stuff. I just want to focus on in the moment pleasure only.
I hate the fact that you really be using that as an excuse to do what you like or do what you might. And I keep on praying and reaching for you. I hope you look in the mirror and see all the things I've been seeing in you. Hope your reflection will send you a message and show you this shit is much deeper than you. If you don't believe in yourself, then you'll never believe in somebody believing in you. And I gotta tell you the truth.
Yeah. So how can anybody else believe in you if you don't believe in you? That runs across any metric you want to use. How can you expect anybody to value you if you don't value yourself, for example? So self-compassion comes first. Now, you might not like the word self-compassion, but be a friend to yourself. Or think about the golden rule, which every religion in the world that's ever been invented has had some version of the golden rule, which is don't do to other people something that you wouldn't want them to do to you. You can go a step higher and say the platinum rule. And the platinum rule is don't do to yourself something you wouldn't do to somebody else. Because we've got these inner critics, this constant chatter all day long. And if you saw me talking to one of my nephews the way I talk to myself, you'd throw me in jail because we're awful to ourselves. So the platinum rule says show yourself self-compassion. And if that's too woo-woo, be a friend to yourself. Treat yourself as if you were somebody who you were responsible for caring for. Because you are.
Cause I'm about to lose it. And you in denial about it and just wanna make up a million excuses. Tearing our family apart, but you leave us scarred and everyone bruises. Every decision affecting us all. And if you get lost, then everyone loses.
Yeah, damn. So that's now he's yeah. I mean, so here he's talking about family systems where you think of a family or a family system, family unit as like a mobile, one of those children's mobiles above the crib. Everything's connected and interrelated. And you grab one, the baby grabs one of those objects, it shifts the whole thing. So you could do what you want. He's saying, if you could screw up your whole life, but guess what? If you do that, the whole family, the whole friend unit, everybody, it's not just you that has consequences here.
You leave us scarred and everyone bruises. Every decision affecting us all. And if you get lost, then everyone loses. For real. And I'ma be next to lead. I know that guy got a plan and you ain't fulfilling your destiny. Much as I need you, I will not be sticking around or watching you rest in peace. I promise I love you, but I gotta do what's best for me.
How can you love someone and learn to let them go? How can we fall apart on things we'll never know?
The way they shoot these videos is amazing.
Isn't it funny you can change your ways?
I love all of these throwback 70s and 80s band t-shirts that they're using, or that they have on.
Someone to fill in your
Def Leppard, Kiss.
Tell me, is it really love? If you have to ask if they'll stay.
Look, I know you've been calling for me. You hit him.
Who's this person then? Or is he lip syncing Joyner's line? So now I got 3 singers in this song.
Stay.
Look, I know you've been calling for me. You hit on my phone, but I've been alone so long I'm harder to reach. I know you ain't saying any names, but I got a feeling you talking to me. I hate when these demons get in on my soul. I feel like I'm caught in the beast. How do I let go of something I know is bigger and stronger than me? If I could be honest, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not who you want me to be. Nobody is perfect, not even you. So why you keep targeting me? I feel like we can't even have a genuine convo without you starting to preach. I feel like a dog on a leash, it's not what I need. Living that hell, wondering when I gotta leave. Like how can I breathe? How you gonna tell me addiction's not a disease? Fuck do you mean? If it's not a disease, then why has it gotten to me? It's not what it seems. But you always be making me feel like the problem is me. I'm not gonna...
Damn it, so this is getting deep too. Now, I didn't expect that turn. That we're going to get the other perspective. That's hard to do. Because we float around in life just with our own view of the world, and it's hard to understand other people's perspectives. But here's the capital T truth. Everything that somebody else does makes perfect sense if you can understand the reason or the motivation for it. Every single thing that they do makes perfect sense if you can understand the script that's behind it. And so here, what they're doing is they're showing us, oh, look, here's my perspective. And back to what I said earlier, I do struggle with the word disease because it makes it sound like it's some kind of pathogen or some kind of like intruder. That's not to say that it's not tough. And also, you have to accept what is. So once something's happened, it's already done. You can't change the past. So once this person in the white tank top, once he slips into addiction, arguing about why or how he became addicted is absolutely worthless because it's already happened. Right now, this is how it is. Right now, the person's addicted. And so white tank top guy is saying, I'm stuck. I know I'm not who I am. Stop judging. Stop casting this judgment on me. I'm doing the best I can given my dopamine addiction now. Red shirt guy, kiss shirt guy, he's saying, look, you're not who you used to be. I want you to be better, but you don't seem to listen to me. So we're hearing both sides of the story here.
And why has it gotten to me? It's not what it seems. But you always be making me feel like the problem is me. I'm not gonna be who you want me to be, like God decided for me. And speaking of God, how the fuck you know all of the plans he's got for me? So give me a break. I've been inching away from trying to get out of this dream. I'm drifting away. How come you only there for me when I be trying to get clean? My biggest mistake is me wishing that things were different. I felt like the drugs is made.
So I just said that. My biggest mistake was wishing that things were different. Wishing that things were different is non-acceptance. It's wishing that the world was different, not accepting how the world is. That's different from accepting how the world is and then changing, doing something about it in the future. That's different. You can have goals, you can have systems, you can have objectives, intentions on what you want to do with your time. But the acceptance of the present, acceptance of how things are right now is the first step towards doing something about it.
There for me when I be trying to get clean. My biggest mistake is me wishing that things were different. I felt like the drugs is made for sinning. That's why I've been stuck in the same position. Fuck, I'm falling but I cannot budge. Been wondering why I'm in love with a strange addiction. And why the fuck you always playing a victim? A lot of this shit that you hate to mention. It sucks that I had to taint your vision. But ain't nothing left for me, so you can just quit addressing me. I guess it's just my destiny. So take me as I am, or let me be. Tired of you stressing me, cause shit I gotta do is best for me.
How can you love someone and learn to let them go? How can we fall apart on things we'll never know? Isn't it funny you can change your ways for someone to fill in your empty space? Tell me, is it really love if you have to ask if they'll stay?
You gotta actually put them
How
down
can you love
down the sink, though. You can just pick them
someone
up.
to let them go? How can we fall apart on things we'll never know? Isn't it funny you can change your ways for someone to fill in your empty space? Tell me, is it really love if you have to ask if they'll stay?
Well, I gotta say, I'm glad that in that early scene when he was laid out, that he wasn't dead. And I love that. Gosh, I just love everything about these kind of videos. They're so well done. They're so well done. The way the actors or singers are moving around, the camera work, the editing is just incredible. Overall, I like how we got to see both sides of the issue. It wasn't just one person saying, "Hey, you're the problem," and he even said, "You're playing the victim." I lost a friend. What was me? I can't change you. You're screwing me up. But in reality, we don't know the whole situation. We can't know the whole situation. So then we got the other side of the situation. Super powerful stuff. Super good. So, yeah, awesome stuff. Now, I didn't know Joyner Lucas. Is this similar? Is reminiscent of other music that he puts out? Is this somebody I need to check out? Let me know in the comments. What brought you here? I want to hear from you. What does this song say to you? What other songs should I check out? Let me know, and I look forward to continuing down my journey including my jelly roll journey. And I'll see you here next time.